This is the deep end, and what we're going to talk about this week is an article that came out from Buzzfeed News. Fuck you, they're a credible source. I don't care what you say.
When they do legit reporting, yes, they do a great job. Now, the vast majority of what they put out is vapid and silly and dumb. Yeah.
But the guy that wrote this article is actually Joseph Bernstein is an actual journalist.
Excellent article. This was excellent journalism. This was top-notch journalism.
And we could honestly spend the next 4 episodes in their entirety. We're talking like 4 solid hours of talking about this thing if we wanted to.
Yeah, that article was dense.
Thick. It was thick.
God damn it.
BuzzFeed News received a treasure trove of emails that were turned over to them about Steve Bannon and Milo Yiannopoulos and how they essentially learned to weaponize hate and white nationalism into a giant money-making venture, all helmed by the Mercer family.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're wondering who they are, they're fucking billionaires. So,
and they like to keep quiet, and then they like to keep quiet, and then fund the things that support their causes that directly support them.
Alex Jones, Breitbart.
Yeah, no, they do. Yeah, it took me the better part of a day to read this article.
Yeah,
it took me. I had to step back away and come back several times. Yeah.
And just from
25 pages. It's 25 pages long on Word.
Just from me pulling quotes from this took it took me like 3 hours of putting this together. And I don't even know if I'll get to it all because honestly,
there's no way we can get to it all.
We're not pressed for time on the show because we can go however long we want. But the thing is, I care about your guys' time as well, and just gonna give you guys the bullet points of some of the stuff here. You can probably read a whole hell of a lot more. You could probably even check out the patron show stuff because I'm sure we'll talk about it more in the future. So I'm going to go over just a thumbnail of some of the stuff that was well researched by BuzzFeed News and managed to dredge all this up. So after you're done listening here, I'm going to put the link to the article. I'm going to put the article in the show notes and just go check them out there. So during the 2016 presidential election campaign, under Bannon's leadership, Breitbart courted the alt-right. And if you don't know who the alt-right is, they're the insurgent...
You're listening to the wrong show?
I know. The insurgent, racist, right-wing movement.
They didn't just court the alt-right. They basically founded the alt-right.
Oh, it existed.
They defined it. They defined it.
They defined it.
They consolidated. They consolidated it. They what is it when you whenever you're making liquor stronger, what the fuck do you call that? Where you
distill.
Yeah, they distilled it down to something stronger. So for more than a year, Milo Yiannopoulos led the site in a coy dance around the movement's nastier edges, writing stories that minimized the role of neo-Nazis and white nationalists while giving its politer voices a, quote, fair hearing. In March of last year...
This is why you don't engage people.
Fuck you, Milo.
That's why you don't give them a platform.
Fuck you, Milo.
The editor... Milo. Insisted on the website, Alex Marlowe said that we're not a hate site, which if you spend 3 minutes on Breitbart,
there are still white centrists who say that they are not. They have bought into that this is conservatism now.
Yep.
This is what they've bought into. They've said, oh, you won't even talk with them? I'm like, I will not have a conversation with Nazis. No, I will not find a middle ground with Nazis. There is a hard line, and they're sitting there like they're not Nazis. I'm like, this is the exact same. This is the exact same method the Nazis used.
Yep.
Oh my God, how short is our memory?
Very, 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 very short.
And people's short memory leads into the fact that Breitbart's media relations staff repeatedly threatened to sue outlets that described Yiannopoulos as racist. And after the violent white supremacist protest in Charlottesville in August, Breitbart published an article explaining that when Steve Bannon said that the site welcomed the alt-right, he was merely referring to, quote, computer gamers and blue-collar voters who hated the GOP brand.
No, you're not.
Oh, he knew exactly what he was doing when he said that.
He did. Absolutely. He absolutely did.
This is very well demonstrated in the article that Steve Bannon is a white supremacist and is a racist, but he's a good marketer.
Yeah. And he made me...
So is Yiannopoulos. Yiannopoulos, no matter what they say, he is a self-hating gay man.
And he's not Jewish. He's not Jewish. He's part Jewish from his grandmother.
Jewish.
He's a practicing Catholic.
Yeah.
Which
He's
is
not
why
Jewish.
Yeah, he just married a man. I don't understand.
Nope,
No,
he's
no,
self-hating. He's self-hating.
yeah, he just married a black man, but I'm sorry, that doesn't really mean anything because that's probably not a very good person.
No, so let me give you a quote from Milo here. It says, "I have said in the past that I find humor in breaking taboos and laughing at things that people tell me are forbidden to joke about. But everyone who knows me also knows I'm not a racist." Really? Come on. "And as someone of Jewish ancestry, I of course condemn racism in the strongest possible terms." No, you don't.
No.
"I have stopped making jokes on these matters because I do not want any confusion on this subject. I disavow Richard Spencer and his entire sorry band of idiots that he used to get to his position where he was before CPAC kicked him out."
He absolutely used it. The big problem here, the big problem is you're not making jokes. You have no understanding of humor, satire, or irony.
All right, I've got a quote. I've got the quote.
Go.
I've got the
Yes.
quote.
Good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So this is Sartre. Sartre. I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce it, but this was from his book, The Anti-Semite and the Jew. And although he was exploring the Nazi movement and anti-Semitism, it was about hate overall. And so whenever you hear the word anti-Semite, just put racist in your head. But this is the quote. "Never believe that the anti-Semites are completely unaware of the absurdity of their replies. They know that their remarks are frivolous, open to challenge. But they are amusing themselves, for it is their adversary who is obliged to use words responsibly, since he believes in words. The anti-Semite have the right to play. They even like to play with discourse, for by giving ridiculous reasons, they discredit the seriousness of their interlocutors. They delight in acting in bad faith, since they seek not to persuade by sound argument, but by intimidation and disconcert. If you press them too closely, they will abruptly fall silent, loftily indicating that by some phrase that the time for argument is past."
Wow.
Yeah.
When
well.
when was that written?
Right after World War II, he was a Holocaust survivor. He was a Holocaust survivor who was examining the nature of hate, and
Yeah,
nailed it.
just a little bit.
All right, so
It's so remarkably apropos.
Yeah.
Milo Yiannopoulos was originally the tech editor of Breitbart. And
Yeah.
in 2015, this is something I have in my checkered past that I'm not happy about because I didn't realize these people were attached to it at the time. He was a huge proponent of Gamergate, that whole thing that was going on there. And so he convinced Breitbart's upper management to give him his own section. And for 4 months, he helped Bannon wage war, story by story, against the perceived forces of liberal activism on every conceivable battleground in American life. This led to the first huge...
makes women crazy and ugly.
Oh, yeah, and so that's what he said. Unattractive and crazy is what he said.
Unattractive and crazy. There's that one.
Right.
And so he published that article, and Bannon emailed him after that. He said, and this makes me sad that I still use dude, because if Bannon's saying it to other people, he's probably been saying it to Trump and everything. He says, "Dude, we are in a global existentialist war where our enemy exists in social media, and you're jerking yourself off with marginalia. You should be owning this conversation because you are everything they hate. Drop your toys, pick up your tools, and go help save Western civilization."
There's that dog whistle. There's that dog whistle.
So many dog whistles.
And so Yiannopoulos he got that message, and he said, "Okay, message received. I will do a week of Islam next week." And Bannon's like, "You don't need that. Just get in the fight. Your social media, and they have made it a powerful weapon of war. There is no war correspondent in the West yet, dude, and you can own it and be remembered for 3 generations, or sit around wasting your God-given talents jerking off to your fan base." So Bannon prodded Yiannopoulos into the limelight of being the new fuckboy for the alt-rights. So
yeah, he is absolutely a self-hating fuckboy. God, I hate that man so much. And I don't hate people.
No.
I really don't.
So in May of last year, Yiannopoulos...
I'm sorry. I gotta bring up. We're so pro-gay on this show.
Yeah.
We're so pro-gay. We're so pro-human sexuality. There is a problem, gay men, with misogyny. All right?
Yeah.
A huge one. Yes.
I don't want to hear another gay man tell me that women's bodies are gross. I don't want to hear it again. All right? It's not funny. It's not cute. I don't care that you're not attracted. You are distancing yourself from femininity, which you have been aligned with, in order to benefit from male privilege, and in doing so, you are
casting off half of society too.
You are disparaging women who have been some of your biggest allies. All right, I need you to stop that shit right the fuck now, gay men.
And
not another fucking word.
People may be wondering how we can tie the whole Mercer family to Bannon and Yiannopoulos, and
well, they're the funders.
Yeah, they are the people that own Breitbart, pretty much. And the thing is, like, he got invited to Cannes for a weekend for the film festival and was hanging out on a boat called the Sea Owl, which is a 200-foot yacht. 200-foot fucking yacht, people. And it was on that boat that he ran into, what's her name? I think her name was Rebecca Mercer, if I remember right.
The daughter, the head of the foundation.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, and he on the ship was drinking and mingling and interviewed Phil Robertson.
Yeah, that one.
The Duck Dynasty guy for his podcast.
Uh-huh.
What the fuck is a camo laden guy that hates all of everything doing over in Cannes? Why is he in France? Why? What the fuck does he have any business being there? Especially on a billionaire ship.
Because he's a yuppie, honey.
He was stuck on the boat. He was stuck on the boat and he didn't know how to get off. That's
no. It's worse than that.
No,
is that
they're a fucking yuppie.
No, it is. God damn it! Stop.
They grew their beard. They grew their beard.
Yeah, they're a rich family.
Me sad, that whole thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, they were fucking yuppies. They grew their beards out.
No, they did.
And they started putting on camo. They were not this personality type before that.
No,
before their show.
They weren't. No, that they absolutely weren't. Yeah.
It's Rebecca Mercer. But it's just interesting to me that, if people really knew who the Duck Dynasty folks were, they would probably give a little bit shit more about, wearing the clothes and stuff. And you have the patriarch of the family, of course, and he's just fucking terrible to begin with. But it's all an act. It's all an act. It's all
an act.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. Rebecca Mercer, Robert's powerful daughter, emailed Steve Bannon from her Stanford alumni account. She wanted the Breitbart executive chairman, who she introduced as one of the greatest living defenders of liberty, to meet an app developer she knew, because they wanted to get a anti-Hillary app into the App Store for Apple, and it got recently removed because they're like, no, we're not going to do that, because that's Apple's platform to do that if they wanted to, And so they made a giant shitstorm about it, how it's a First Amendment political persecution kind of thing, and it's just, god damn it. And so Charlie Nash, who had been just hired by Breitbart at $30,000 a year after months of lobbying by Yiannopoulos, dutifully fielded the request from the billionaire indirectly paying his salary, and turned around and wrote a story about the app on the 25th of July. And a follow-up 5 days later, Apple reversed its decision. They got bullied. They got bullied into it.
Yep, they absolutely did. But let's not overlook the fact that they are seriously underpaying those writers.
Well, that's probably part-time.
That's another story.
So.
I feel like that's
another story. That's another story altogether. But
that's just what we got from email evidence. There could be all sorts of dark money going around somewhere. So, but I'm not going to speculate. No.
I'm absolutely sure there is.
Yeah.
But
and so this is the way that Breitbart has worked. Stories came in from the Mercers and then story ideas came in from the Mercers. Bannon whipped his staff and saying that our investors and our investing partners want this done, and they pulled the trigger on it and they got it done. So
And
Bannon,
let's be clear, the Mercers don't give a fuck about any of these issues.
no,
They use the language, but these people live a lifestyle completely outside of your modern American conservative. Your people who voted for Trump, they're not living the same lifestyle, you guys.
no,
They're not living the
not at all.
values that they espouse. This is Rebecca Mercer, her father's name.
Right.
You
no,
think,
but
what, you
the,
think
but
she's
the
getting
people,
married and having babies? No, she's
No.
not. It's about control. It is about control of the status quo, because they know that if they can control the conservatives, they can control the women, they control the world. They
Right, and-
maintain their power.
right,
and-
and they are absolutely still they're talking to the people. They are talking to the people who still believe that no matter what, they can still become that cultural elite. They can still become wealthy. There's no like reason for it, but they can still get there.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
yay, go America!
So you guys
You
want to
can
know
still get there.
what really scares people like Milo and Bannon? The protesting. The protesting is scaring the shit out of them.
Yeah.
The
They
Black
don't
Lives
like
Matter.
it.
The Black Lives Matter protesters stormed a Yiannopoulos speech, which afterward he wrote to Bannon saying, "I wouldn't confess this to anyone publicly, of course, but I was worried last night that I was going to get punched or worse. I need one or two people of my own." And so that's when Bannon says, "Yeah, I agree with you. We want you to stir up more, and we're going to use the Mercer's private security company to do so."
Mm-hmm.
So he kept rising in the 2016s, going up the fucking flagpole of things that were going on there. And so it got to a point during the election last year that Peter Thiel, if you guys know who that is, he's the guy that pretty much single-handedly destroyed Gawker Media.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's the one that killed Gawker, the website. I mean, they kind of did that themselves by publishing that porn video, but the thing is, this is another billionaire that's funding a lot of stuff from the shadows just to get people riled up, just to inject money into lawsuits, because it's no longer about who's on the side of right in the law anymore. It's who has the bankroll that can last longer. And I think that's a fucking miscarriage of justice to begin with. So.
It's a huge one. Yeah, but that's another story for another day. Yeah.
Yeah, and they bring up another name in this article about Curtis Yarvin, who's one of Yiannopoulos' helpers, who advocates the return of feudalism.
He does. He thinks democracy has failed.
Yep. And so Yiannopoulos was saying Peter Thiel needs guidance on politics, and the other guy wrote back, he's like, "Nope, less than you think. I watched the election at his house. I think my hangover lasted until Tuesday." He's fully enlightened. He just plays it very carefully. So that's just. And it goes on and on and on and on. This article is just so amazingly dense with shit that I don't know how anybody that says, "I like Milo," would read something, though they would never read something like this, of course. But if they did, I don't know how they would be like, "Oh."
Or how about we engage with him? We have a discussion with him.
There's no,
he is playing you. He is using the platform. There is no honest integrity in anything he says. There is no intellectualism. None.
And so
these are not people you engage with.
No.
At any level.
And there's links in here to how Seb Gorka became one of the people that was talking to Yiannopoulos. And if you remember, he had to step down recently because he was a fucking Nazi.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just amazing. I mean, and it just keeps on going and going and going. But keep in mind, what finally brought down Milo Yiannopoulos is that he pissed off the conservatives just enough with his defense of pedophilia.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that stopped him.
That was it.
It's ridiculous. And so
I mean,
you guys...
I'm sorry. I know that pedophilia is terrible, but that was the line, guys.
Yeah.
That was the fucking line.
Yeah, apparently that was it.
Entire dehumanization, where he would. You guys drew the line, not him addressing his own victimization. No, that you did. That was where you drew the line, not the entire dehumanization of women and people of color and so many other things that were obviously things trying to dissuade people from equality. Like, no, that's where you draw the line. His own victimization.
Sure. Yeah. And that was such a small that was such a small thing too. Of all of this.
Yeah, and
really?
Unfortunately, it sounds like he's going to be coming back to Breitbart soon. So
I'm sure he is.
They'll hire him
Well,
back on.
the Mercers, after he resigned from Breitbart, the Mercers funded his own project.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
His new venture, Milo Inc.
Let's be clear. They did not disavow him at all.
Nope.
It was PR. It was PR to remove him. That was it. It was a show. It's all a game to these people. They are looking to increase their wealth and power and status. That is all it is. Yes, they are using racism. And yes, they are racist pieces of shit. And yes, they are sexist pieces of shit. But they don't live that lifestyle themselves. They don't give a fuck about that shit. There's no actual morality involved in anything they're doing.
No.
There's no intrinsic thing that they care about. They don't care about abortion. You think they care about abortion? You think they care about church rights? Do you think they care about freedom of religion? No. They're using you. If you're a conservative, they are using you.
It seems to me that the 1% is just not happy being the 1% anymore. They want to be the less than 1%. They want to be the 0.25,
they want feudalism.
They want to be the top of the fucking chain. And
they want the castle with the village around them where they control the lives of all those around them. They want a slave system. That's all they care about.
Now, if George Soros came to us and offered us money, I, of course, would take it. Because I'm not stupid.
God damn it. Hey, Soros, where's our check?
I told somebody...
Yeah, but if Soros wanted us to go back on our values...
Nope, wouldn't
I don't
happen.
think I could do it. I don't think I could.
No, because I actually like being able to sleep at night and put my head on my pillow.
Yeah, I have to live with me.
Yeah,
I still have to live with me. I mean, and when Alex was on the show, I was like, look, I got a price for anything. I could go work for the Trump administration. And obviously it was a bit tongue-in-cheek. And he did that. But he goes, what about 300? And I stopped and I went, I mean, $300,000 a year is a lot for me.
That's comfy.
That is a lot. No,
and
that's
so
more than comfy.
And it wasn't that I was like, ooh, it wasn't that I was super tempted. I had to stop and check in with myself and go, what really is my price? And when I stopped at about $300,000 a year, I still went, I couldn't do it. I could not do it. When I actually had to stop and really check in with myself.
Yeah.
My price for these people is way too fucking high. It's unfathomable. It's not just money either. It's not just a money price. The price is something they cannot guarantee. And I can't do it. I'm the only one who has to live with me. I'm the only one, but these people don't give a fuck about that.
No. So you guys really need to go read the rest of the article. We barely touched it. I seriously barely touched it.
And there were repercussions.
It's an amazing fucking article.
I can't remember the name of the guy. The guy who worked for
Broadly Vice.
Vox.
Broadly Vice.
Fired because of that.
Did he get fired? Good.
Yeah, he
Fuck
did.
That guy.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy. It was a gay man who was a friend of Yiannopoulos. He was emailing him shit and saying, tear apart this fat feminist and shit like that. And he was supposed to be writing for the pro-women Vice site. No,
he got fired. Yeah.
Good.
Good.
Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy forever.
So yeah, like we said.
This is what makes me as a woman go, I don't trust you, men.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't trust anybody.
No, you shouldn't.
I don't either.
No, you absolutely shouldn't. There's good reason for it. And I don't blame you at all.
No.
Yeah.
So yeah, go check out the article. Take some stuff away from it. Leave us some feedback.
Yeah.
We'd love to hear what you guys thought of it. Anyway,
take a couple days and digest it. It's
a lot.
It's super dense.
Yeah. And I tried my best. It took me 3 hours to clip out stuff.
Yeah.
Important. It's really important. If you're going to be woke, you need to know this shit.
Yep, absolutely.